This is TWiT.
So our first email comes from Trevor Waters, who writes in and says, after hearing the news that the official phone version of AA was Android Auto, right? For a moment, I was like, all about Android? What? Flo, for our video viewers, are showing her thoughts. I know this is a trigger. This is a trigger warning for Flo. But anyway, so after hearing the news that the official phone version of Android Auto was going away, I decided to look for an app that was being actively maintained. I ended up finding AutoZen, which has an interface similar to Android Auto version 2. Even though I usually drive a vehicle with built-in Android Auto, I ended up using AutoZen as well due to various glitches I've experienced with my vehicle's built-in version of Android Auto. It works really well and has received numerous updates and now features since it was released. The one downside to the app is that it has a $4 yearly subscription to unlock all the features except turn-by-turn directions, which cost $8 a year. You can also pay $17 a year for lifetime access to all features. The developer chose these prices due to their ongoing costs of integrating Mapbox into the app. Even though I don't like paying a subscription for an app, this is one of the few apps where I feel like this is a worthwhile expense. It also incentivizes the developer to keep improving and updating their app since they can justify dedicating time to it due to the continuous revenue stream. Hopefully this will be useful to people that have been affected by the removal of the phone-based Android Auto. And thank you, Trevor. There's a lot to unpack here, and I know you wrote in about Android Auto, but I want to back up to something that you said that's quote-unquote, even though I don't like paying a subscription for an app. And where you then go on to extol the virtues of actually paying developers for the apps they do so they can update and maintain and continue the app that you are enjoying using for what you want to be nothing. Especially considering a $4 yearly subscription. It's probably less than what you pay at Starbucks or whatever, or wherever you go. And $17 for lifetime access is like, don't go to the movies once, right? Like, we've said it for years. You got to pay your devs. You got to pay your devs. I'm happy to pay that lifetime subscription for an app if I'm getting use out of it and I actually like it and enjoy it. So I just needed to get that off my chest. But that said, Android Auto, I know this has been a heartbreaking topic for a lot of people, Flo included. Flo, have you checked out AutoZen?
No, but now I'm going to. Can I tell you, though, and I'm writing about this for Gizmodo, so it's coming soon, my full thoughts, but I ended up getting a Spotify car thing.
Oh, yeah. What do you think of that?
Oh, wow.
What? Oh, there we go.
I can't give away all the content yet, and I'm still kind of working it out, but so far...
I haven't heard good things. I'll just say that. So
far, it's not filling the void because, this Android Auto changeover has been severely devastating for me. And I'm hoping to have my car for maybe another 2 years at this point. So let's try and make it easy for me to listen to music, please. And look at a map. That's what I need.
Yeah, I mean, this app actually looks really good. And you know what, Ron, I think I read the tone of Trevor's email, I think, differently than yours. I think what I read is because I think a lot of people feel like they're being subscriptioned to death, right? Sure. Like there's subscriptions everywhere. Yeah. And I think when I read this, I read I normally don't like subscriptions, but this thing's really well designed. He does have to pay for everything behind. I'm happy to do it here. That was kind of my interpretation of this particular email, but which I would agree with. I wouldn't pay subscriptions for every app either. I would be very picky and choosy about which apps. I think
you should be, and I think you can be. But when you lay down a specific thing, like I don't like paying a subscription for an app, then you're really limiting unless you're buying, and I'm sorry, and Trevor, I didn't mean to come down too hard on you. I'm assuming you're not paying for an app. Like if you're not if AutoZen cost $8 flat and there was no subscription, would you pay the $8 to use it or not? Like that, that's another question there. But Jason, I feel like we've been having this conversation since Pushbullet came out all those years ago. Yeah. Remember Pushbullet? We're like, oh my God, Pushbullet's amazing. You can do all this sort of stuff. It's like, oh, they're charging a subscription. Forget this. And it's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm a little sensitive because I'm, a co-owner of a company.
You've got a horse in this race.
that has a subscription, that is software as a service. And I'll be honest with you, he's, even Trevor cites in the email that, that the developer justified it due to the cost of Mapbox. That's 100% true. It is not cheap. It is not easy or cheap to make an app that actually has function and uses third-party libraries like Mapbox or Google's whole suite and all this sort of stuff. I could show you our monthly cost of operating Scorebit, and with the Scorebit app, we've got all of Google location services in there. There's all this kind of overhead, Heroku, all these other Sentry, all these other monitoring services and things that cost us money, and you got this, I took Business 101 in college, and that was all I took, but I still took Business 101. You gotta spend money to make money, but you gotta charge to make money too, right? So it's just tricky. It's just tricky.
There's got to be value. Yeah. People have to, you have to display that there's value there, and then people who would use your product have to recognize that value. And the truth is, over time, we've been conditioned to, in many ways, expect free. That's why we've, for long time on this show, support your devs. We try and reiterate that point because it kind of is undoing the negative kind of habits that we've created over the years by emphasizing, and it's free. And, and now we're kind of on the other side of that, realizing, it's never really truly free. Like you do pay a cost, and are you okay with the cost that you pay with your data sharing or your attention and your time and watching a pointless, stupid, ads or whatever? That's why you pay. And you also pay to support the infrastructure. And some of these apps really do have an infrastructure that can't be supported in 100% by the developer, or supported 100%, in perpetuity for year after year after year on an app that you paid $3 for 5 years ago. That's just not, business sense tells you that's not, going to support it long term. So yeah. Cool. Well, thank you for writing in, Trevor, and thank you for sharing this app. It actually looks really great for people who are looking for an Android Auto alternative. Looks like a good solution. Definitely worth checking out. And I don't think that's the cost of this, even for the lifetime access. If you're going to pay $4 yearly, or another $8 for turn-by-turn directions, the lifetime access is $3 more than that, and you don't ever have to think about the restrictions again. So, not bad.